Hi everyone, today I will introduce the Western Sydney International Airport. It's a major national project at Baggery Creek, managed by Western Sydney Airport Company, designed to handle Sydney's future air traffic growth. The airport will have 3.7-kilometer runway, modern terminals, and 24-hour operations. The total investment is about $5.3 billion, creating around 11,000 construction and 28,000 long-term jobs, and adding over $25 billion to regional GDP in the long term. Overall, it's economically viable and support the Western Sydney City Deal, drive long-term regional growth. For the project description, the main goal is to expand Sydney's aviation capacity and promote balanced growth in the West. Nationally, it contributes to GDP growth, employment, and sustainability targets. Locally, it boosts jobs in construction and logistics, raises property value, and improves transport efficiency. Key stakeholders include the Australian and New South Wales government, local councils, airlines, and the Western Sydney community. Together, they are building an airport that will shape the regions of the future.
Hello everyone, my name is Tian and my responsibility is the data collection and classification. On the left, the financial costs are from a corporate perspective. The justification is that these are actual cash flows for the company, like the capital expenditures and operating expenses. And this data are used for the financial model. On the right, the socio-economic costs represent the total cost of the society, not just the company. These include qualified economic costs, like the opportunity cost of the land, and for non-monetary costs, like the environmental and noise impacts. And apply the same logic to the project benefits. The financial benefits are actual cash revenue that the company receives. This is where we justify two-stage model to match the passenger forecast, and also the salvage value, which is the capital recovery at the end of the model. And for the economic benefits, to be very clear on our classification, items that listed there are all classified as economic for a specific reason. Because none of these represent actual cash revenue for the company. Instead, they are societal welfare gains, such as time that's saved by passengers, benefits to the wider public, or gains for the other businesses. And this concludes the data collection and classification. And I will now pass it over to my team member, who will use the data I've just outlined to present the detailed cash flow statement.
Thanks for Zhou Tian. And now let me show you the next part. The first is a financial perspective. The financial cash flow analysis for the Western Sydney Airport project shows that it is not financially viable based on a 5% discount rate. The NPV is negative $3.848 billion, meaning the project discount inflows are far lower than its cost. The IRR is negative 11%, well below the benchmark rate, and the BCR is 0.01, indicating that each dollar investor only brings 1 cent of return. This results suggest the project destroying rather than created investor value. Therefore, unless major changes improve revenue or reduce costs, investor would likely reject it. And next is the social economic perspective. For a broadened social economic perspective, the picture changes. When including public benefits such as reduced travel delays, improves accessibility and consumer surplus, the project's NPV become positive at about $3.08 billion. The IRR rises to 126%, and the BCR reaches 4.05. This means every dollar spent produced over $4 in social value. Although it is not perfectible for private investor, the project delivers strong public benefits and supports regional development. And now let my partner show you the next part, please. Thank you.
Thanks for Chengyu to talk about financial aspect of the project, and I'm going to present economic side of the Western Sydney Airport project. According to the Department of Infrastructure business case, the project achieves an economic net present value of around 5.44 billion in 2015, with a discounted at 7% and a benefit cost ratio of 1.9. This means that every dollar invested will generate almost $2 of value for the Australian economy. As shown in the chart, the project involves a mix of major costs and benefits. The main costs are shown in the slides. Capital cost 5.3 billion, operating and maintenance costs 1.7 billion, and environmental and noise benefits for around 1.42 billion. And in terms of environmental and air quality impacts, during construction, there will be dust and particulates such as PM10 and PM2.5. During operations, aircraft will emit nitrogen oxide and carbon dioxide, but the mitigation strategy will keep emissions below national air quality standards. Noise will also affect nearby suburbs, but mitigation strategies has also been incorporated into the design. The main benefits of the project are consumer surplus, accessibility improvements and delay reductions, airport revenues, both aero and non-aero, and airline operating and road use savings. Importantly, the project will also create around 8,700 full-time equivalent jobs in airport operation and another 4,400 jobs around the airport by 2031. In total, it will generate around 5.8 billion in value added. 1.5 billion of this will be in Western Sydney, while the rest of Australia will suffer from a loss in value added because economic activity will be attracted into New South Wales region. The results confirm that the Western Sydney Airport project is both economically viable and environmentally sustainable. Even after including environmental and noise-related costs, the overall net welfare gain remains strong positive. In conclusion, this evaluation demonstrates that Western Sydney Airport will not only deliver economic growth, but also social and environmental balance. Environmental mitigation should therefore be viewed not as a cost, but as an essential investment. And next, Tongpu will discuss the risk and recommendation of the project.
I'm Tongpu Wei, and I'd like to share about our risk assessment and the recommendations. In this section, we assess the financial risks of Western Sydney Airport using sensitivity analysis. We tested key variables such as unit price, passenger demand, growth rate, and cost. The result shows that the unit price and passenger demand are the most sensitive drivers of NPV. Even when revenue increases by 20%, the financial NPV remains negative. This indicates that the project is financially risky if funded solely by private investors, as financial viability is highly dependent on optimistic revenue assumptions that may not materialize. And alongside the quantitative analysis, we also identified broader strategic risk. The main risks include construction delays, lower than expected demand, regulatory changes, and community environmental concerns. However, these risks are manageable. For example, fixed price contracts can reduce cost overruns. Airline partnerships can stabilize demand, and community consolidation can help maintain social license to operate. Therefore, we recommend that the project should proceed under a government lead or public-private partnership model. This approach ensures that the economic benefits are captured while financial risks are appropriately managed. Overall, the airport is justified as a national infrastructure investment that will support long-term economic growth. That's all of our presentation. Thank you.